On our webinar, we are going to make a review of Sage UK edition. First of all, I would like to tell a few words about our company. As you know, we are a global IT company that provides business automation and management solutions, as well as full range of IT-related services. We have more than 5,000 professionals, 80 offices around the world, and more than 20 years and business automation. And also we are authorized Sage partner. So let's move on. During our webinar, we are going to demonstrate general functions and useful reports in Sage 50 UK. So you are also learn about powerful WAT model in Sage 50 UK. And you can also get some information about how Sage 50 UK can help you with WAT. And you will be able to ask your questions at the end of our webinar. And now I would like to notice WAT functions in Sage 50 UK edition. So it has different WAT rates for each item, and it has WAT for each item in invoices. Sage 50 UK automatically calculates input and output WAT, and also has WAT verification settings. So now I'm going to give a word to my colleague Artyom. Artyom is a Sage senior consultant, and he's going to take you through general functions and useful reports. Artyom, please.
Thank you, Ekaterina. Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about Sage 50 UK. I will show you first the interface, then we will go through basic functions, and finally I'm going to show you the reports. So let's start from the interface. As you can see, left panel of the Sage UK consists of different modules, and basically this panel divided into accounts receivable part. Here you can find your customers, quotations, invoices, and so on, and also accounts payable part, where you can create purchase orders, invoices from your suppliers, and of course suppliers. And next part is products and services. So in products and services, you will create your items which you sell, your services, and also items which you purchase. And next part is general ledger part. So here you can find your bank accounts, your all transactions related to your payments from your customers, payments to your suppliers. Also, you can find chart of accounts in this module, VAT return functions and reports, and all transactions. And finally, you can see below additional functions which called fixed assets, departments, and projects. I will show you it later. So if you go to the top menu of the system, you can find first is settings. So for example, if I open a customer default, I can see some fields which you can fill before start the system. And once you have created a new customer, these values automatically will go to your new customer. such as country. Also, it's possible to specify different currency for your customers. Next is tax code, which is what is very important now, and also department, discount, some additional discounts, and status of your customers. And also, it's possible to specify period agent. So there are two different ways how you can do that. First one is a calendar monthly agent, and second is period agent, where you can specify your own number of days. And also, it's possible to specify the discount depending on invoice value for your customer. For example, if your invoice above than 100 dirhams, discount 5% will be automatically in this invoice. So if you're talking about settings, also you can find here suppliers defaults, bank defaults, products, invoices, and so on. So this is a main settings which you have to do before start the system. Also, it's possible to set up access rights for your users. If you have several users, you can create them and set up access rights to see only some particular modules in the system. For example, only customers and invoices with the customers, or only general ledger transactions, for example. So next functions is currencies. System allows you to create many different currencies and specify them in a customer record or in a supplier record, and generate transactions which are foreign currencies. So I'm gonna to show you product and services module. This is what you will create first in the system, what you will sell your customers and purchase from your suppliers. So as you can see, the list of your products has some additional information about sales price and quantity in stock. So it allows you faster get this information from the system. And also it's possible to add more information, just configure this list. For example, if I want to see a unit of sale of my items, I can add it in this grid. And finally, first I can see it when I open the list of my products, and second I can send this information to Excel. So there is an option in the system, and if you want to print it, you can just click print. So generally each module has some common functions. For example, reports. If I open a list of customers, I can see reports. If I open products and services, I can see reports. And each list in the system I can send to Excel, and I can print this list. And if you have a look at the menu which I'm showing you, so for each module you can see different functions, such as transactions, some master data, and also reports. So if you open one of an item, you can see many settings by default for each item. For example, it's possible to specify different tax code, tax rate for each item, and this tax code will go to your invoices automatically. So next is reorder level. It allows you to order your items when you have, for example, when you have in stock less items than your reorder level, the system automatically add this item in your purchase order. I will show you later how to do that. So also it's possible to attach files, any files to the particular items in the system. So when you open your products and services list, you can directly from this list buy or sell these items, or also you can select the set of items which you want to buy and go to the functions buy sell. Just select a type of transactions, for example, purchase order, and create new document. So all these items which you have selected will go to your purchase order, and you just need to select your supplier and save this purchase order. So once you saved it, the system allows you to print this purchase order, and also in this purchase order you see information about your VAT amount for each item, and finally total amount for this invoice, for invoice or purchase order. So as I mentioned before, you can create purchase order based on your reorder level. For example, if we have in item, so let's find one item. For example, we have number of item in stock below 0. So if we go to function shortfall, the system automatically will suggest you to order this this item. You just need to click create new order and save it. So it allows you to keep track. It allows you keep track in the system quantity in your stock and make purchase orders when the items quantity less than reorder level. So there is a very useful function in each module. It's called activity. For example, if I select one of item, I can go to this activity and see all transactions related to this item. So let's select one of item which has transactions. Yes, so you can see goods in and goods out transaction, and also you can drill down into a particular document and see all details which related to this invoice, or which related to this sales invoice or purchase invoice. So, and also I'm going to show you the reports which you can generate from your products module. For example, product movement allows you to see your stock in and out for each item. So let's select more items in the system. So finally you will see your in and out of for each item, and finally balance in your stock. And second report is product valuation, which shows you your cost of your stock in your warehouse. So also in the product and services module, it's possible to do some adjustment in or adjustment out. For example, based on your stock taking, you can find these functions in this menu. And if you have some bill of materials, you can also use it in the system. It's just simple assembling of your items. So this was products. So now I want to move to suppliers and purchase module. So if you open the list of your suppliers, you can see useful information about each supplier. For example, your balance with supplier and also overdue amount. So it's it allows you to get information fast about your suppliers from this list. And if we open one of the supplier, we can see contact details and also default tax code for each supplier. It's also possible to specify different tax code for different suppliers, and you can select currency for each supplier, and you can set a payment due for your suppliers, and based on this payment due, you will see overdue amount in the list of your suppliers. So also it's possible from this list to generate batch invoices and batch credits and the payments to your suppliers. And as I mentioned in products and services list, from this supplier list, you can also analyze activity of for each supplier. You will see all transactions and details for all transactions just using the functions activity. So next, what I'm going to show you is reports related to your suppliers. For example, age creditors analysis allows you to see age analysis by your suppliers. And next one is a statement for each supplier's group by items. So you will see your debit and credit transactions in this statement, and finally you can find here a total amount. So generally in the system, when you open list of all reports, you can see reports related to this module divided into different topics. For example, if you open suppliers reports, you can see topics such as age creditors, credit control, day books, and so on. If we open products reports, you can see topics products analysis, products profit, and so on. And each report you can add in your favorite list to faster get it and generate from the system. So about suppliers, there are two ways how you can how you can make your invoices from suppliers. You can work through batch invoices. So it allows you to just fill in the transaction and save it. And this information will go directly to your general ledger. So here you just have to specify supplier, date, any additional information, department. Also, you can specify project and amount. And once you saved it, it will go to your general ledger. But also there is another way how you can create your transactions with your suppliers. It is purchase orders. So this function allows you to analyze your purchase orders. You can see the status of your purchase order, for example, completed or not completed, printed or not, and posted or not. So as you can see, we have many completed purchase orders, and one and two of them on order still, and also we have a printing status and posted status. So let's create one new purchase order. So I will use function duplicate. So it means I will create one more purchase order based on existing one. So I will click duplicate, and I will see all information here. Items, quantity, price, and if you want to specify more information about this purchase order, you can open a particular line in the order and change, for example, tax code, or add some additional information, also information about project. So once I saved it, I can find new purchase order in the list of all orders. And now what I can do, I can create receive deliveries. So it means I will create invoice from supplier, and also status of this purchase order will be changed to complete. So now what I can do, I can print this purchase order, select one of layouts, and see all information about VAT, amounts, and so on. And then I have to update ledgers to send this information to general ledger. So it means you can create your daily transaction, for example, in one day, and in the end of the day you can send all your transactions in general ledger, and it allows you to check your transaction and maybe change something, and only after that to update your general ledger. So let's do that. I will update the ledger. So one more thing, I can update also several purchase orders. I will select it and click update ledgers. So I will see all transactions in the system. Now I have to click update, check all amounts and description, which will go to my general ledger, and save it. So now this transaction you can find in your transaction list in general ledger part. So it was a purchase module. What else you can do? Here. So if you go to supplier list, from your supplier list you can create batch credit, and you can create your payments. For example, if I select one of suppliers which I have balance with, I can select it and click supplier payment. So once you selected a supplier, you will see all outstanding invoices with this supplier. You can select it, or you can type amount and automatically distribute amount by these invoices. And then just save it, and this information will go to your general ledger. So let's go to customers and invoices part. When you open customer list, you can see also the same as in supplier part, balance with your customers and some additional details and overdue amount. And directly from this list, you can create batch invoices. You can create receipts from your customers, and also generate some reports. For example, age debtors analysis. allows you to see aging periods and amounts for each customer. And also, this module has different types of documents which you can use. For example, if you usually work with quotations, you can create it in the system. You can mark your quotation as won or as lost or open. So, and keep track the status of your quotation. And once you won your quotation, the sales order in the system will be created automatically, and you can start work with your sales orders. Also, you can start work with the customer directly from invoices or from sales orders, or you can use all three different documents in your process. So same information in a customer order, you just fill in the items, prices, and so on. And same information you can find in quotations. So once you created transactions in a customer module, you can analyze it in reports. For example, invoice summary will show you information about all invoices. If you select it, you can see type of invoice, you can see date, and some additional information and amount also. So also it's possible to create batch invoice. For example, if you have some revenue, additional revenue from your customer, so and you don't want to create invoices in the system and print it, you can just create batch, type some information about amount, maybe project, and VAT rate, and just save it, and this information will go to general ledger. So, but if you use your invoices and sales orders, it allows you to print, to generate print forms and give it to your customer. So all invoices, all transactions which we created in suppliers and customer part, you can find in your transaction list once you updated your ledger. So so let's go to general ledger part, and this part consists of bank accounts, nominal codes. So basically nominal codes is your chart of account, and also VAT module and transactions, which I already showed you. So if you open your list of your banks, you can create new banks in the system with the different currencies. I will create new one. So it's possible to create different bank accounts with the different currencies and use it in your transactions. So also you can do bank transfer between your bank accounts. If you want to transfer money from one bank to another bank, you can do that. So next one is the different type of payments. For example, if you want to create payment to your supplier or some bank payments or refunds, so you can do that from this window. And also if you want to receive money from your customers. So if you go to reports, we can see some additional information about your transaction in bank module, for example, or by bank payments and receipts by bank account. You can see amount, tax amount, and also if you want to see only your receipts, there is a report in the system to analyze only your receipts. So also it's possible to do reconciliation of your bank accounts. I think this is all main functions about bank. So we'll go to nominal codes. So this is your chart of accounts, and you can create different layouts for your chart of accounts. For example, we have some predefined groups in the system for sales, purchases, direct expenses, overheads, and taxation. But inside these groups, you can create your own groups. For example, if you want to divide your sales into different types, you can create product sales, export sales, sales of assets, and so on. And you can create as many layouts as you want. I will show you how to do that. If you open your chart of accounts list, you can edit one of them and rename these groups, create your own groups, and specify a range of accounts which this group includes. And finally, you will see your profit and loss based on this layout. When you generate your profit and loss, you can drill down into your groups. For example, if you open product sales, you can see your accounts, which this group includes, and also you can drill down to each transaction and see reference and value and any additional information. So from this nominal codes module, you can do your journal entries, which you cannot do in other modules. For example, salary transactions and so on. So I wanna say a few words about VAT module. It is a very powerful module which allows you to check your transactions related to VAT in the system, to create reports with the input and output VAT amount. And I want to show you the VAT return functions, so which allows you to analyze your VAT transactions in the system and finally create, reconcile your transactions, and also it's possible to create a payment directly from this window. So first what you need to do is select a period for your VAT transactions, and then you can do some verification for your entries in the system. For example, check duplicate entries or missing entries, or if you, for example, selected wrong VAT rate in your documents, the system also can check it during the reconciliation of VAT. So first, what you need to do is calculate VAT return. So once you've done it, you can see your sales VAT amount and your purchase VAT amount, and finally amount which you have to declare in the tax authority. If you check everything and this is the right amount, you have to reconcile VAT return. So when you click reconcile VAT return, information about your VAT amount will go to your general ledger. So it's marked as a reconciled, and there is a function post bank payment directly from this window. So once you save it, you can see your new document in the system, VAT return, and if you create it monthly, you will see document for each month in the system, and you can open it and check. For example, if you want to analyze your historical data, you can see all your VAT amounts for previous periods. So if you want to analyze all your VAT amounts with transaction details, you can generate reports from this module and see all input and output VAT and detailed into transactions and details, date, and so on. So, and I want to show you some additional functions in the system which you can use, such as fixed assets. You can create your fixed assets in the system and specify the depreciation accounts, specify the depreciation rate. And during the months and the closing, this depreciation amount will go to your expenses. If you open department list, you can see many departments, and you can see revenue by departments and expenses, and system allows you to generate reports, for example, departmental profit and loss. It allows you to analyze the profitability of each department in the system. So next one is the projects. So there is a list of projects in the system, and each project you can select in your transaction, in your purchase and sale transactions, and finally it allows you to analyze profitability of your projects. And also there is a function to see all transactions related to particular project. For example, if I select one of the projects and go to activity, I will see all transactions related to this project. And if I go to reports, I can generate a report which will show me sales transactions and cost transactions and profitability of particular project. Also, it's possible to set budget for projects. So basically, expenses in your projects you can divide into different cost types and different cost codes, and set up a budget for each cost code in the system. So I think this is what I wanted to show you today. Thank you very much, and I'd like to pass the word to my colleague Ekaterina. Thank you, and see you next time.
So Thank you very much, Artyom, for your insight for our Sage 50 UK review. And now I would like to tell you some words also. Since we are Sage partner and system integrator, we would also provide the whole range of services. And we do recommend you to use our support services to implement Sage software. Installation, setup and configuration, data migration, training, go live, hand holding, customer support. Please get in touch with us if you need some of these or maybe all of these services. And also, if you have any questions to Artyom, you can answer them right now. And Artyom will be able to answer. And still, if you are interested in Sage 50 UK or other Sage software, please contact your personal Sage sales manager, Hakim Kuvatov. He is able to answer all your questions in individual basis. So here you can see, just a second, please. So here you can see Hakim's contact information, his mobile phone and his email. So for any questions you can contact with Hakim. And thank you for being with us on this webinar, and see you next time. If you have any questions, you can ask them right now.